brand new screenshots from Smash Ultimate's Fighter Pass, and we talk about the final two. Blocked content. What's happening, my blocked buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. I'm super excited about this news, you guys. So we actually have a bunch of new screenshots to break down from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As you guys know, we have been getting so much great new information about the game. Not just that we are getting 2 new characters, because that's super great. Everyone knows about the hero, everyone knows about banjo-kazooie, but of course, all that it will bring with it. Now, we know a little bit about the music for banjo and kazooie. We know a little bit about the partnership that went into that. There's a little bit more on that very soon here on Blocked Content, but also, of course, they bring their stages. You know, they bring a lot of spirits. They bring kind of their own little influences to Super Smash Bros. And what I wanted to talk about with you guys today is that we actually have new screenshots from the hero to kind of break down and see what we can find, because the initial trailer only showed us like a few shots of the actual stage. We see a lot more, but we actually get some confirmation on a few things that we've really thought about. And of course, for those of you guys who like giveaways, we are giving away piranha plant plushies. These are really cute felt plant boys in a little warp pipe. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Blocked Content, and comment down below to enter for the giveaway at 50k. And we are giving away a few of these, so don't sleep on it like piranha plant usually does. And comment now. All right, guys, let's get into this. So right off the bat, I want to look at this very first screenshot. So this is basically a short breakdown of what I believe is basically all we're getting with this stage, right? So I think that the stage actually looks super beautiful. I feel like Smash Bros. Ultimate has a point of making things a little bit washed out. If you look at some of the colors, if you look at some of the vibes of the characters and even lighting and stuff like that, I've made this point before. I feel like Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS had a bit more vibrancy to it that I feel really fits well with the current designs of the characters. I think that it would fit with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate so much more too. But I feel like this stage really does it pretty well. You know, it's Idrisil's altar, looking really beautiful. I actually really like the kind of design of the stage itself. It's basically Final Destination, right? We don't really know if there's, you know, any really strange stage hazards, but if you turn hazards off, this is basically like a different kind of a shape of Final Destination. You know, it might be, you know, a little bit bigger, it might be a little bit smaller. I would say that it's definitely a tiny bit bigger than the Final Destination we have in the game right now, because that feels very cramped, and this in the screenshots and in the trailer looks a little bit bigger at least. So we have the mythical tree right there in the background, and I think that this is one of those stages where the camera just basically zooms around the entire time. And you know, a lot of people have been thinking about, will we visit the islands in the distance, you know, Havens Above, stuff like that? Will we actually go to all those places from Dragon Quest XI? I believe what's going on here is that we're actually, it's not necessarily like Delfino Plaza. I think it's going to be a little bit more along the lines of, say, general flyby things. So think about a stage like the Star Fox Lilith stage, right? Where we're on the Great Fox and we're just zooming around. We keep being on the Great Fox. We never land anywhere. But, you know, a basically awesome scenery kind of zooms by. I feel like we're going to travel through the entirety of this thing, but as you can see, as far as the modeling of the background, I don't think that we're going to be anywhere too close to the background. I think we're going to get very close to the tree, but I think that's going to be about it. You know, you can see a whole lot of details from Dragon Quest XI in the background. You can actually really very closely in the trailer see the flying whale, Cetacea. There's a lot of cool little hints out there for Dragon Quest, the Hado Volcano. You see the lighthouse over there. So I think it's really cool. Even the ruins are there. I think it's really cool that they basically plunge everything into it, like the big world map that it is. A lot of people really wanted to have a little bit more teases to other Dragon Quest games in the series. And in terms of characters, they do on the stage, which I really like. And what I like also is the colored orbs in the stage. They really remind me a little bit of the Matera things in the Clouds stage, you know, the one from Final Fantasy VII. So I think that there's probably going to be some kind of way to activate the Rainbow Bridge or something like that, you know. The entire platform seems kind of powered by it, so everything glows a little bit. In the trailer, you can definitely see the entire stage kind of glow. Now, I don't know my Dragon Quest XI as much as I should, but I think definitely there could be some kind of mechanic where the stage kind of expands and there's a little bit more to see. I think that from the trailer on and these screenshots, they keep hiding a few things here. So of course this also looks to the Dragon Quest hero doing a bunch of moves here. Now in the very first screenshot, we can actually see the standard fire attack. And this is, of course, as people kind of predict some of the attacks that you can actually choose from the little drop-down menu. So that'll go into choosing your own kind of special moves and having that kind of be your own balancing tactic to it. And it's really cool to have characters like Fox, Peach, and Ridley be here because that's like a general like mashup of Nintendo going on here. Now, in the other screenshot, you can clearly see what happens to be some sort of platform floating there on the top left. So it seems like sometimes maybe platforms will fly in and out, kind of like the Bayonetta stage, the Umbra Clock Tower. So what we normally kind of feel like it's a final destination, I think that if you turn the hazards off, it might still have some platforms that come in and come out. What you can see here is probably the up smash of the hero. A lot of moves are super similar to some of Link's, but we've actually seen what looks like to be his up tilt in the trailer, which is more of like a lunge kind of thing. And here, he definitely does like a big upward stab, which looks a little bit more like an up smash would kind of be. So similar to something like Roy, or I believe Marth has some kind of similar kind of up smash where it's just a lunge of the sword right above him. Now, the next screenshot is actually pretty interesting because it shows the entirety of the stage and that it possibly is just like Final Destination, where it just has a curvature. So you can, with some characters, maybe even travel under it. I don't believe that it's one of those, things from Dragon Ball, the big tower with the big thing so you can't travel under it from both sides. I feel like this is definitely not Kami's Tower or something like that. Now, in the next screenshot, we can actually see Battlefield as a stage and see kind of how the hero would function in a stage like that. And it's super easy. You basically see the first forward, I think it's a forward tilt, because we know the running dash attack is basically Link's dash attack in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the forward smash is a two-handed sword strike, I believe, from the trailer. So this might be the forward tilt happening here. Doing a little bit of damage over here. Possibly, we can't really tell from the screenshot if this is the very first damage taken. Now, the next one is, of course, the Thunder attack, and these are also attacks that kind of vary in different ways of power that you can have them. So almost a little bit like how Robin has all the differences in the power. And as we look at our next screenshot, this is basically some kind of standard attack. So this would be kind of the jab attack. I feel like this has just gotten its first strike in, and then the other swipes we've already seen in the trailer. So we kind of know what the general stabs are like within this combo. And I think there's also a shield smack in there, which I think is really cool. We don't really see that with Link's moveset at all. It's basically using the shield for shielding, and it's using the shield as a general resting kind of shield, which also happens to be in the hero's moveset, that you can actually shield projectiles and stuff like that. So I think that's really cool. And the final screenshot actually shows the entirety of the stage and also some little hints to Dragon Quest VII in there. I totally love that the stage is a little bit foggy, right? Like you kind of fly through the clouds from above the clouds. That's a really neat touch. So I think that they can even kind of start above the clouds and kind of reveal the world that way. I think that'll be super impressive and, feel very serene at first, floating through the clouds on this platform, and then basically enter sort of the, the atmosphere, and then see the entirety of this beautiful Dragon Quest XI world. So yeah, I generally think that this is a really, really cool stage, cool looking stage. Don't really know how all the platforms and stuff will work. Is the center coming out and, it's forming all these different platforms? Are there platforms flying in from the sides? Is this some kind of beta build where they just basically show the stage without platforms, but they sneaked in one with one of the screenshots. I don't know. If you have any ideas in the comments down below, or you've seen something in the trailer, definitely let me know here in the comments, because I really want to know as much as possible about this stage, because it not only looks awesome, but possibly we're getting it pretty soon. So I'm really hyped about this. I really want to get the hero and all the alternate characters that it comes with, because I feel like another sword fighter with a shield could definitely be awesome, but add to it the magic element, and that we get to play as Akira Toriyama designed characters. I mean, Erdrick looks super cool. Yeah, just count me in for this one. I'm not as hyped about this character as I am Banjo, as you guys know, so just take that what you will. But I'm super hyped still about the hero. I think that it'll be a worthy addition to the DLC pack. I mean, Joker, and then the hero, and then Banjo. I think they're on a great roll. I think that these three choices are already choices that people are not necessarily at all angry with, or, scratch their heads over. I think they all make sense, and I think they're great. And with that, I kind of want to close with something about the DLC Fighters Pass, the final two characters. Now, endless debate is going on over who the final two characters will be. And I can't stress enough how awesome it is that we already know who the first three characters are, let alone that we already got that pre-order thing, the Piranha Plant. Now we already know Joker, we know the hero, we know Banjo-Kazooie. But the final two characters, that's basically where this Fighters Pass is going to prove itself. There are a lot of people that I know that own Super Smash Brothers that don't own the entire Fighters Pass yet, that haven't gotten the whole thing yet. I'm super excited about what's coming, but I can definitely see that people could be still on the fence, seeing what the entire package will be. It's still a lot of money that you pay after the fact that you've already gotten a game, and if you're not the biggest Smash Brothers fan and you're just waiting for that character to enter the fray, yeah, it totally makes sense, because this is the kind of third-party pack, right? You can see it from Joker, Hero, and Banjo-Kazooie. That's the running theme here. These are third-party properties that are now appearing in Smash Brothers, kind of dream come true for big parts of the audience. So, to me, it would only make sense to have this happen for the final two characters as well. And one of them, I think, is going to be a little bit controversial. I think one of the characters is going to be the Doomslayer, or Doom Guy, or however you want to call it. I think that this will be a character that is a super Western character, but it speaks to, the first-person shooter kind of audience. I feel like it deserves the spot in Smash Brothers as well, because it's got such a great impact on gaming. I feel like Bethesda, they're working together with the Doom franchise on Nintendo Switch has been great for Nintendo, and it actually works super well. It looks super well on the go. So I think that it only makes sense in a business partnership kind of deal. However, I would love to see some other Western characters get a little of a touch in there, because if we're talking Banjo-Kazooie, I think another character that totally makes sense would be Crash Bandicoot. And I've talked about it in a previous video, how I think that Crash just fits. You can already see the entire moveset. But what's more is I feel like we are probably not going to get Doom Fighter or Doom Slayer and Banjo. I think that that's just not going to happen, because I think those two characters, being, the Western characters that they are, I think would tip the balance of the entirety of this Fighters Pass a little bit in a Western favor. And I don't think that that's what Smash Brothers should be, in a sense, because we got Joker and the hero. Yeah, those are franchises that are pretty big, in Japan, Japanese audiences. But I think characters like Banjo, there's a big audience there in the West, and I think that, one more character from Western audiences makes sense, definitely. But I feel like it's very un-Sakurai to finish the Fighters Pass and not add at least one character that's from a big, a lot of people have been thinking about first-party support and still thinking a character from Fire Emblem could be in. And to me, the entire Fighters Pass is kind of modeled around these third-party guest characters. They join the fray from outside of the Nintendo or the Smash Brothers of it all. But I could definitely see it happening, that the final two would be talked about like, the final two, we're just bringing these Nintendo characters that all of you have wanted. And no, I'm not talking about Luigi. I'm talking about characters that a lot of people, have been banking for the longest time. So my guess is that we're either getting Doomslayer or we're getting Crash, but I don't think we're getting both. But I don't know who the other character would be yet. A lot of people really want these fighting game characters. Heihachi I could kind of see. I could maybe even see a character like Scorpion. Get over here. But yeah, other than that, don't really know. I really want to hear you guys' input on what the final 2 characters will be for the Fighters Pass. Do you think that either Crash or the Doomslayer will be in? Anyway, let us know. Comment question of today is, who are the final 2 characters of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? And as for the previous comment question, our answer comes to us by way of Sean Miser saying, yeah, I want to Crash in there. But the true question is, will they use his Mind of Mutant design or its original? But on the other hand, I think it would be funny if they used the ending from Crash to Insanity, where the fighters get sucked into Crash Brain, or the other fighters get Jump Bill, the other Crash Bandicoots, or Crash Jack's Mutant and just goes crazy on the other fighters. Or better yet, his final smash could be like the ending from Crash Bandicoot 2, where he uses the power of the gems and uses Embryo's laser to fire the fighters that were unfortunately Cortex Space Station. I mean, the possibility is endless for Crash, and he has a variety of moves from his games, and he can use Aku Aku as a counter shoot, Wumpa Fruit as a neutral special. Like I said, the possibility is endless for a character. Well, Sean Miser, that was a little bit Australian even. I don't know where that came from. I might know a Sean that lives in Australia. Anyway, thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, I know. Crash has so much possibilities for a moveset. It's endless. I could even see the motorcycle being in a move. I could see the belly flop attack being his down aerial move, or maybe even down B in the air or something like that. It's crazy how much potential there is with Crash. I do believe that if they do it, all the moves will be based around Crash 1, 2, or 3. I think that that's going to be it in terms of representation. I don't think they're going to go the way of Mind over Mutants kind of games. I don't think they're going to do that. But definitely, I think that there's a strong case to make for Crash being in the game. And if it's only about moveset, I mean, adding Crash to the game with just that spin attack alone, you could do so many cool things with that, in terms of gaining more, verticality with your jumps and stuff like that. So I would love to see Crash make it into Smash. I also think that if you're gonna want to do another Smash game in a few years and you need some characters on the back burner to say, yeah, we kind of need to sell that game too, with some originality, then Crash is probably a good bet to have in there. So with that said, I do believe that we're going to get that character. And thank you so much for sending in your comments. These are always a ton of fun to go through. And of course, a super huge shout out to our latest Patreon supporters. A bunch of you guys sending me sweet messages. So thank you guys so much. You guys make blocked content possible. And if you want to be a part of the channel, maybe donate something to join me for live discussions, or have your own ideas become videos on the channel, it's super easy. Go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards for you waiting there. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on a daily basis to you. And by the way, we have a brand new show. It's called Banjo-Kazooie Review, where Banjo and Kazooie talk about all the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate fighters, and we might even see a few guest appearances, maybe a rhyming witch here and there. So definitely check that video out, because if you do, it ensures that we get to make a lot more of these. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more blocked content. See ya.